And so when someone is suffering from this, there is acid in the stomach and it's coming up into the throat, into the chest, and it's just creating this really intense burning sensation. It's extremely uncomfortable, as is any kind of digestive discomfort. And so what this video is designed to do is just to work through some super gentle poses that are going to massage this area as well as stretch it open. And so when you're working with this kind of disease, I don't recommend doing anything too intense, no intense inversions, and just you want to move slowly and gently. And so these are some really great poses. And so we can get started, and we're going to begin on all fours, coming into tabletop. And so just finding a neutral spine here, taking a breath. Our first pose that we're going to work into is cat pose. And so you might know cat-cow. We usually work through these at the beginning of our practice, just warming up into the belly. And so cat pose specifically is just a great way to just start to send our attention into the core. And so we can just do a couple of rounds of cat-cow now. So inhale, dropping the belly, opening the chest. Exhale, pressing back into cat. Inhale, coming forward into cow. Exhale, pushing back, puffing up through the shoulder blades. One more time, inhaling forward, opening the chest and the heart. Exhale, rounding back. And this time we're going to settle into our cat pose here. So really pushing into the palms. Be as dramatic as you can be. Really try to imitate that angry cat posture. So puffing up through those shoulder blades. And we're really drawing the belly to spine here. So this is where our focus is going right now. Our awareness is at the core and in the abdomen, in those belly muscles. And so remembering to breathe, continuing to send the breath down into the belly. And then we can move on to our next pose, where we're just going to tuck the toes and push back into a simple downward facing dog. And so here we're just relieving and easing the belly. We're just letting it hang, letting it be soft, taking any tension from the cat pose out of the belly here. So really countering. Just pedaling out the legs and pressing into the hands, and then finding some stillness. Again, the belly is just being allowed to soften and relax here, finding some ease. And then our next very simple, very gentle pose, working with any symptoms of GERD, is the child's pose. So we're going to take a breath, and then exhale. We're going to drop the knees wide here. We're going to bring the big toes together to touch, and we're just going to allow that belly to really fall in between the space of the thighs here. So dropping it down, taking your forehead down to the mat, extending the hands and pressing down into the palms. And so it's really important that we let the belly be soft here. And so not holding it in, not restraining it in any way, just letting it hang, let it be open, let it be soft. And I want you to purposely send your breaths down into the belly. Just really feel it filling up. Feel that expansion. And then let it go. And just taking one more deep breath here. Again, really sending that awareness deep into the belly. And then we can start to come back up, walking the hands in. And so these poses that we are working through today, especially the ones like child's pose, I really recommend spending 5, even 10 minutes in these poses. It's just letting the body know that everything is fine, everything is okay, and just allowing it to really be soft and to be open. And that's really going to help with these symptoms of the acid reflux and the heartburn. But if you're ready to move on, we'll come into our next pose, which is half Lord of the Fishes. So we're going to bring the right leg out extended long, bringing the left sole of the foot into the earth, and then just taking it across. And then we can either leave this leg extended out along the mat, or we can bring it in. Aim of this pose is to work with twisting the upper body, so not too worried about the positioning of the legs, just finding what's comfortable for you, because that's going to allow you to hold this pose for longer as well, really spending some time working with what's going on in this area. So finding what suits now, and then taking the left hand behind, and then wrapping the elbow around that left leg. We're going to take a breath. And then we're going to twist over to the left, twisting the chest, the neck, the head, even twisting the gaze, getting a nice stretch for the eyes right over. You can close the eyes down. And then I want you just to send your awareness down into the belly here, noticing how this position is really compressing and twisting. So you can imagine that you've got a sponge and you've twisted it, and so that when we release these poses, there's a fresh rush of blood that pumps into this area. And so this is dispelling any toxins, any waste, getting rid of any gases that just are not serving us. So just holding this twist just for as long as is comfortable. Sending each breath down into the belly. Notice how when you fill the belly up with the breath, it's getting a compression and a massage as it presses against this thigh here. And then when you're ready, you can slowly unwind, unraveling the body, unraveling the legs, and not forgetting to take that pose to the other side. And then once you have balanced both sides of the body, you can come on down lying on your back for our last pose, which is super common for any kind of digestive distress, including symptoms of GERD, and that is Pavana Muktasana, our wind relieving pose. So coming down, we're going to bring the knees into the chest here. We're going to lift the shoulders up off the earth and wrap the arms around the knees. So we're squeezing the knees together and we're pulling the thighs down into the belly. We're then going to rest the shoulders and the head back down on the mat, just slightly tucking that chin. So creating a bit of a double chin look here so the spine can stay straight. And then inhale. Exhale, pull those knees a little deeper into the belly. And so I want you to work with the breath here. With each breath, I want you to send it deep down into the belly, filling it up, and then you're pressing down with the arms, pulling the thighs a little deeper. And so this is really compressing this space, really massaging into those internal organs. And you can really just hang out here for as long as you've got, allowing this compression just to really get things moving. But when you're ready to move on, you can just release the legs, maybe just holding onto the knees, opening them wide, just releasing the hips, just rocking left and right, just massaging into the lower back. And then we can rock and roll our way up to a seat and come back to sitting. And so even though I've moved quite quickly through these poses for this video, I highly recommend spending at least 5 minutes in each pose and just sending that awareness into this area of the body with each pose. Just allowing those symptoms just to dispel, and yeah, hopefully you can just add these poses into your practice, so we're also strengthening the body so we can prevent future flare-ups. And so yoga is just a great natural remedy as opposed to having to take over-the-counter medication. So give yoga a go, incorporate it daily, and see how you feel. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something. I hope you get some symptom reduction. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. If you like this video, then please subscribe to our channel and feel free to leave some comments